fucking hoes and popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star. All my brothers got that gas and they always be smoking like a rock star.
Yo, 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 what's up? This is my first build video, and I'm going to do it on the Necromancer. And we are definitely doing it on the new version of the Necromancer with the new expansion. This version of the Necromancer is obviously called the Scourge. And this is PvP build. So weapons we're going with, as you can see here, we're doing the staff, and then scepter, torch. I like this better than using the warhorn. A lot of guys like to use the warhorn for the speed. I used it, I liked it. It doesn't matter what you use, you could use either. This is just the build that I prefer. So on the staff you've got Sigil of Annulment. Your next attack after swapping to this weapon while in combat will remove 2 boons from your target. And then Sigil of Cleansing. Remove 1 condition when you swap to this weapon while in combat. On the Scepter Torch, I've got Sigil of Doom. Swapping to this weapon while in combat inflicts poison. And then Sigil of Revocation, which on hit removes a boon. And then we have the Amulet and Rune that we're using. Obviously the Amulet we'll do Rune first. Rune of Scavenging. 25% to condition damage. 25% when struck. Cause a next attack to steal life, 50 to condition damage. After using a healing skill, your next skill attack steals health, 100% condition, or 100 plus 100 condition damage, and then 7% of vitality is converted to condition damage. So that's the one I like to use. And then Sage Amulet, that's 1,050 to power, 560 to vitality, 560 to healing, and 1,050 to condition damage. So as you can see, I've got 26,612 life. So that's the setup, and then the actual build, you're going to go Blood Magic. And you're going to go Blood Magic, you're going to go Rune of Life. So you're going to go with the first one here. Cast Lesser Well of Blood when reviving an ally. Wells of Blood revive allies every pulse. So this is really good for reviving. With this build you are somewhat support and very quick reses if you're on top of it. So and then number 3, Vampiric Presence. You and your nearby allies siphon health with attacks. This effect increases while in Shroud. And then last you've got Transfusion, which Shroud skills 4, steals, and practically revives nearby allies. So anyway, that's your F5. So when you use F5, that's the one you see where guys use that and all of a sudden they're back up. It's probably because right before they died, they used that well and it revives them. I've seen guys get up from it. So pretty cool. Next one is Soul Reaping. We're going to use number 2, which is Soul Marks. Marks become unblockable and generate life force when triggering. So obviously your staff skills. And then the next step is 2 as well, which is Vital Persistence. Gain Vitality. Shroud skills gain reduced recharge. And then last you've got Dumbfire. Shroud skill 1 inflicts burning on the target. So anyway, pretty easy, pretty good one there. And then last, obviously, you're using Scourge. And with Scourge, you're using 1, which is Abrasive Grit. Granting an ally a barrier removes conditions afflicting them and grants might. And then next step 2 is Sadistic Searing, which skills gain reduced recharge and causes your next manifest sand shade to inflict burning on foes near it. And then last you've got Sand Savant, which you can summon only one shade at a time. This greater shade has reduced recharge. You affect more targets and influence a larger area with the shade skills. This is very useful for this build. And that's pretty much the build. Again, you've got your scepter. These are your scepter skills. These are your shade skills here, obviously. And then for utilities down here, for elite skills, I use the heal I use is Sand Flare. In this, it doesn't really matter what you use. A lot of guys will still use Consume Conditions, and I think that is still a very, very good option. I like this Sand Flare. I like the barrier, the heal every 20 seconds, plus the boon conversion, and I like that. I like taking boons from guys and turning them into conditions. Works really good against bunker builds. I use the Plague Signet. Again, transfer conditions. I always wait for my conditions to build up, a bunch of them, especially if you're going against other condition damage foe. I like to get a bunch of those, and then poof, you hit it, transfer it onto the next character, or the guy you're fighting. Works very, very well. I've downed a lot of people using that skill. The next one is Desecrate. And this is another one where you are basically, you draw in vital energy from your foes to gain life force and grant boons to nearby allies, converting a boon on affected enemies into torment and cripple. So every 16 seconds you can use this. Gives you 10% life force. Again, boons are converted to conditions, so again you're turning boons on guys into conditions, and you're stacking torment and movement and cripple, basically movement speed, decreasing their movement speed, plus you're gaining might every time you do this. So a very good a good one. I like that one. Every 16 seconds, it works very good against tanky boon driven classes. So, and then I like to use Trail of Anguish. Every 28 seconds, leaves a trail of sand as you travel, grants boons to allies passing through it, inflicts burning on enemies, and corrupt a boon into cripple and torment. So again, taking somebody's boons and turning them into cripple and torment and burning. This is also a good one because this is your 6 seconds of stability for stomping, plus it's your speed. So I use this a lot to get around the maps. And if somebody's following you, they'll get jacked up, or they'll at least get damaged and slowed way down and so forth. And then finally, for the major elite here, you've got Ghastly Breach. Every 72 seconds you can use this. Breach into the realm of torment for a brief time, granting might to allies and slowing enemies. Convert a boon on enemies into torment and cripple each pulse. So again, we're taking boons, and we're again turning those boons into torment and cripple. So very, very good. Again, boons converted to conditions. Most of your skills, you can see what you're doing is you're taking somebody's boons and again turning them into these negative effects. That's why I like this build. It's very diverse. It's a 1v1 build. You'll win a lot of 1v1 fights with it if you play and use your dodges correctly. Anyway, let's cut to some gameplay, show you a little bit how it works. Yeah, thanks for watching. Again, first build video. Appreciate the support. Like, share, comment, all that good shit. And yeah, watch the gameplay. Thank you. Bye bye.